Hello, everyone, and welcome once again. To me, it really doesn't matter what you believe in or what religion you follow, if any, as long as that particular religion, spirituality, or philosophy promotes unconditional love and light, compassion, hope, kindness, and empathy towards the earth and all of its inhabitants. In other words, this part of the creation, then it is sound and truly follows the Christ. However, if your religion or spirituality or philosophy doesn't promote these things, then I feel it is a false religion. I've often wondered if many Christians see that part of their religion is devoted to two versions of Jesus: Jesus the Christ and Jesus Christ the idol. The term Christ and Buddha, like I said in the last episode, mean the same thing. They are not a surname, they are a title. Both mean enlightened one or awakened one. Christ or Buddha isn't a surname like many believe. It's not his last name. Okay? The church went through many changes and conflicts in its history. I want you to picture Jesus in your head. What do you see? How would you describe your image? Is the image in your mind of a straight, white, bearded, and robed man? Historical Jesus was a dark-skinned Jewish man who came not to create a new religion, but came to reform the current Jewish one. It was the different religious faction leaders, like the Sadducees and the Pharisees, that persuaded the Jewish people to demand Jesus' crucifixion. The religious leaders gaslighted Jesus because he threatened their power and control over the Jewish people. I've always found it interesting that God always seems to hate the exact same people that religious leaders hate. Have you noticed? They always claim to know the will of God, but it usually coincides with their own ego will. I always wondered especially about that. It always coincides with their, like I said, their egoic will. God can't hate. Like some people claim that God hates fags, God hates this, God hates that. God can't hate. I'll repeat, God can't hate. No matter what the church, synagogue, or religious temple building religion you go to, God doesn't hate you. Not for being gay, not for being a woman, not for being trans, not for being bisexual, or this or that, or black, or brown, or Jewish, or... God cannot hate. Why? Why? In the New Testament, in 1 John chapter 4, verses 7 and 8, it says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loves is born of God and knows God. He that loves not knows not God, for," here it is, "God is love." Let me back up. "He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love." So if you're LGBTQ+, God loves you for who and what you are, honey. You can't pray away the gay like they insist. I tried to pray away the gay for years, even got married to a beautiful woman and had 3 beautiful children. Did that make me straight and not gay anymore? No. It made me more miserable because I wasn't being who I truly was. I wasn't being my true, authentic self and living my truth. Again, truth like beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. This was my truth. And I share it with you because maybe you're feeling the same thing or going through the same thing or similar. Recently, I consider myself both male and female. Well, I've always kind of felt... Nowadays, we have the terms what do you, non-binary or pansexual or pan this or I kind of flow between the two. So I believe they call that gender fluid. I believe like sexuality, gender is on a continuum. It just flows. And for me, I have instances where I'm totally butch, and there's times where I can just instantly turn around and become total flame. Woo! But I'm still me. I didn't change. It's just a different part of myself. Okay, so I'm kind of male, female, neither, both, mixed. Like one Canadian comedian said, fella girly. I'm a girl felly, or fellow, or whatever. Like I said, but I'm still me. I don't care about pronouns, or names, or this or that, because for me, they're all the same. I'm saying this is for me. Other people have issues because they're finally coming to terms, and they feel they have this wall, I find. And sometimes it's an invisible wall. Not everybody will understand that wall. Not everybody will understand the pronoun or your perception or your truth. And that's okay. It's not theirs to really understand anyway. It's yours. Okay? But remember, they're all labels. And those labels, I feel, separate me from the whole. That's how come I don't care. They just kind of separate me from the whole. I'm beginning to rise above that notion and programming of duality. I'm not perfect, nor do I claim to be. I don't have all the answers, nor do I claim to. Okay? I'm a being of light, living in a human body and having a human experience in all of its ups and downs. And so are you. Each of us have a choice in each and every moment. We can give our power away and let them tell us who and what we are, who and what we should believe and need to think and how to act and how to talk. Or we can finally realize that each of us have the power to take control of our life and our direction. You know about karma and reaping what you sow. You know that love is a higher vibration than fear and hate, and if you don't, you do now. Love is a higher vibration. Love is the highest vibration. All right? And what I mean by vibration is the energy is like... You also know that you have to do the work. You have to do the work and seek the kingdom within yourself. No one can do it for you, and there are no shortcuts. I repeat, there are no shortcuts. You have to put the time in. You have to put the time in. I know part of my generation, we want instant gratification, especially the latest generation, this generation, all the way since when I was born. I'm not going to tell you what decade I was born in. Let's just say I went through the 70s and 80s and 90s, and here we are. Everybody wants instant gratification. We want it now. I want it now. That's not how this works. It's not how it works. Okay? You can't just accept Jesus in your heart and go on believing everything is hunky-dory and you don't have to worry about any accountability. Jesus said, what you sow, so shall ye reap. The law of karma, which is the law of accountability. It's going to come back to you. Okay? All of us have forgotten that we are one in the Spirit, one in God the Creator. God's love is not just a passive love, but an active an unyielding love, which is something that each of us is tasked with. What do you mean by tasked with? God's love is not just a passive love, but an active and unyielding love. What I'm saying we're tasked with is we're tasked with raising our vibration, raising ourselves up to that point. That's what our task is, to learn how to love with all these people, especially during this pandemic. Do you know how hard that is? I do. But we trudge through. We admit our mistakes. We learn the lessons which are constantly given to us, unless we don't learn from them, and then they keep coming back until we do learn from them. All right? So when hate is loud, love must be louder. Repeat after me. When hate is loud, love must be louder. When hate is loud, love, unconditional love, must be louder. So be still and know that we are one. Let your love shine. I love you all. Mwah.